grammar. Today all together we'll complete today in two classes we'll complete third unit first part. Am I clear to everyone? Now let us see what is sentential form. Students, are you able to see the screen which I am sharing?
No, ma'am.
Now, are you able to view it?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you notice to see? Is it a sentential form? Now let us start with the definition of sentential forms. A sentential form is the start symbol of a grammar or any given string in that grammar that can be derived. In last class, we have seen derivations, leftmost derivation or rightmost derivation. Some derivations we have done. Whatever the things which we are deriving and writing in the right part of it, that writing all together is known as sentential form. For example, in the last class, do you remember what examples we have solved? Can anyone say which examples we have seen? Are you here? You people don't respond. Okay, if I'm not wrong, you have derived a string ABA using a grammar X implies XY, X implies A, Y implies B. The derivation part in the right hand side, first you started with S implies XYX. Wait a while, I'll share that screen too. Students, are you able to view this screen? The example which we have solved in the last class, leftmost derivation and rightmost derivation for the grammar, S implies XYX. Are you able to view this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever we have written, we have started with start symbol S. S implies XYX. All together with writing like this, S, XYX, A, B. This right hand side part and starting with this start symbol, all together writing is known as sentential form. Is it clear? After derivation of the grammar, writing all the derivative part, that is from the start symbol to the last grammar which we get. For example, in this grammar, we have to derive ABA using the rules given in the grammar. That part, first initially we are starting with S implies XYX. Now in the sentential form, we write S implies XYX, implies AYX, implies ABX, implies ABA. Did you notice this one? Are you here? From start symbol till the word till the word or string we get, whatever the derivation we are doing, either in the leftmost derivation or in the rightmost derivation, the right hand side part, including with the first step in the start state. This whole together writing is known as sentential form. Now you consider this grammar S, B. As I told you in the last class, grammar is nothing but VTPS. Here S and B are variables. A, B are terminals. S is the start symbol and the rules in the grammar are S implies AS, S implies B, B implies BB and B implies epsilon. Now for this grammar, we are writing sentential form for the derivation of the string ABB. To derive the string ABB, we have to start with which rule in the grammar? What is the possibility of getting the string ABB in the rules which are provided to us? Is it S implies AS or S implies B? Is it possible to derive a string ABB with S implies B? Of course not, because the starting of the string must be, starting character of the string must be A. Hence, we start with S implies AS. For this derivation, initially I am starting with the production rule S implies AS. Later I am replacing this S with AB. Did you understand till here? Later I am replacing this B with terminal B and B. Again I am replacing this B with, in the derivation part, ABB capital B. Later I am replacing B with epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but null. Hence I am getting the string ABB. Now writing this right hand side part. Initially S is a start symbol. I am starting with AS. And in the next step I got AB. In the next step ABB. And in the next step ABB and ABB. Writing all together in the right hand side part is known as sentential form. Is it clear? Take a note of this grammar and sentential form for this grammar. Completed, students? Did you take a note of the example which I have shared till now? Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Completed with taking note of it?
Completed, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Then we'll see with the next example. There is a technical problem here. Students, are you able to see the screen? Friends? Hello, students. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you? Are you able to view the screen which I have shared now?
You are audible, ma'am, but your screen is not visible.
Okay. Let me share you again. Now, are you able to view the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it leftmost and rightmost derivation you are viewing? The examples which I have solved in the last class? Now take a note of this sentential form definition. A sentential form is a start symbol S of the grammar that can be derived from S. Now consider this example. Here S comma B are, I'm writing the grammar in the VTPS form. S and B are variables, A and B are terminals, S implies AS is a rule, S implies B, S implies BB, S implies lambda or epsilon, S. Now we have to derive the string ABB from these set of rules. Now the sentential form for the representation of this grammar is S, AS, AB, ABB, ABBB, ABB. Is it clear with this example?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
here? Okay. Did you take a note of this grammar? Now, two more points to be noted. A left sentential form is a sentential form that occurs in the leftmost derivation. In the same way, if we are writing with right sentential form, it is nothing but the sentential form written for the rightmost derivation. If we are doing leftmost derivation, the sentential form for the leftmost derivation is left sentential form. In the same way, if we are deriving using rightmost derivation, to write the sentential form that rightmost derivation, we term it as right sentential form. Is it clear? Now we'll start with parse tree. First definition. Parse tree is a graphical representation for the derivation of given production rules for a given context-free grammar. It is a simple way to show how the derivation can be done to obtain some string from given set of production rules. Parse tree is also termed as derivation tree. Once again, I am defining this parse tree. Parse tree is a graphical representation for the derivation of given production rules for a given context-free grammar. It is a simple way to show how the derivation can be done to obtain some string from given set of production rules. Did you get this definition? Whatever the derivations we are doing with either in leftmost derivation or in the rightmost derivation, if it is not specified to derive in left or right, we move on deriving the string in our convenient way. That derivation path representing in a tree type of format, graphical representation of the derivation is known as parse tree. Is it clear? Now let us see how to construct a parse tree. Properties for the parse tree or derivation tree. First property is always the root node is the start symbol. Root node indicates the start symbol of the grammar. Second thing is parse tree is read from left to right. Left to right, either with left child, root and right child. Whatever it is, we read it from left to right. Next, leaf nodes are always terminal nodes. We shouldn't end up a parse tree with non-terminals or variables. Parse tree construction is in a complete form when terminals are in the leaf nodes. And the last property for this construction is interior nodes are always non-terminal nodes. When we are ending up with terminal nodes in the end, in the leaf nodes, obviously we'll have non-terminals or variables in the root nodes. or intermediate root nodes, interior nodes. Now consider this example. S implies B S B, S implies A, S implies B. Now to derive the string BB, ABB. Before constructing this parse tree, it is better to derive the string using leftmost derivation. If you are doing with leftmost derivation, whatever the derivative part you are doing, in the same way you represent it with the graphical node representation. Is it clear? For this one, the start symbol we consider is S implies BSB. S implies B. Later I am replacing the interior node S with BSB again. At the end, I am replacing S with A. Did you understand this parse tree construction for the derivation of the string BB, ABB? Are you here, students? Students? Hello, students. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the parse tree derivation clear to you? Did you understand the parse tree? Hello, students. Let me explain you this example again. Before constructing a parse tree, you need to write the leftmost derivation for the string given using the production rules of the grammar. Now, in this grammar, S implies BSB, S implies A, S implies B are the production rules. Now, we have to derive a string BB, A, BB. To derive this string, initially we'll start with the production rule S implies BSB. Again, in the second step also, I am replacing S with BSB. Later, I am replacing S with A. Hence, I got the string BB. In the same representation I am doing with parse tree. Here, S is a start symbol. Always will use start symbol as a root node. Here, S is a start symbol. I am using S as a root node for the parse tree. I am using S implies BSB for the first when I am starting the derivation. Here I am replacing S in the left child for this root node is B. Interior node is S and the right child is B. Later I am replacing this S. I am deriving again with BSB. Hence I am taking this S as interior root node and the left child for this S is B, interior node is S and the right child for this S is B. In the last step, I am replacing this interior root node as S with A. Hence, I am getting only one child node A. When the construction of the parse tree is given, we have to keep in mind that the start symbol is always the root node and we have to complete the construction of this tree when terminals are in the child nodes. We shouldn't complete it with the interior nodes or any nodes as a variables or non-terminals. Whenever we get terminals at the end, we need to stop the construction. Hence, if we get the derived string with the string which we actually want to derive, then we got the answer, or else it is a wrong parse tree. Is it clear, students? Hello, are you here?
Yes,
Clear,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Clear, okay. Now we'll move on to the next example. Draw a derivation tree for the string AB, AA, BA for the context-free grammar given by the G, where grammar production rules are S implies ASA, S implies BSB, S implies A, S implies B, S implies epsilon. Are you able to view the screen? Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Students,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm audible and you're able to view the screen also. Now you see this example and first you try to solve it. To start with, initially, there is only one non-terminal or one variable here. I'm starting with ASA. S implies ASA. Hence, S is a start node, start symbol. We are using S as a root node in the parse tree. Is it clear here? S implies
Yes, ma'am.
ASA. S implies ASA. This production rule I'm starting with. Hence, I am drawing the parse tree with the root node S and the production symbols are ASA. Later, I'm replacing S with BSB. In the second step, S is interior node again, and left child is B, interior node is S, and right child is B. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I'm replacing S with the production rule ASA. Hence, I'm writing A as left child, S as interior node, and A as right child. Later, I'm replacing this interior node S with epsilon. Now, how we will read this string? As I told you earlier, in the parse tree, we read the string from left to right. Here, the left string is A, B, A. There is no necessity of specifying epsilon. Again, I'm moving to this right end. Is it clear? In right side, we will read the string from down to up. Not from, in the left side, we are reading from top to bottom. In the right side, bottom to up, we have to read. Now, A, B, A. In the right side, A, B, A. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Done with this example. Did you take a note of it? Now we'll see the next example. Draw a parse tree showing the derivation for 0, 1, 1, 0. For the production rules, P implies 0P0, P implies 1P1, and P implies epsilon. How we'll start with here also in this example, we are having only one non-terminal or variable P. Hence, we will start with P. We need to have 0 in the first character of the string. 0 in the sequence, we need to have 0. For that thing, only one production rule set. P implies 0 is suitable. P implies 0P0 is suitable for the derivation. Hence, I am starting with P implies 0P0. Here P is the only symbol and P is the start symbol. I am taking P as a root node for the parse tree construction. Again, P implies 0P0. 0 is a left child, P is interior node, 0 is right child. In the second case, I am taking the second rule. P implies the grammar I have to, after derivation in the string, I need 1 in the second sequence of the second place of the string. Hence, I am taking 1P1. Now, I am writing 0 as it is first one, and for the replacing of interior node P, I am taking 1P1. Left child is 1, interior node is P, and in right child is 1. Again, I am replacing P with epsilon because I got the string which I want 0, 1, 1, 0. Now we'll read this from left to right, and in the left side we'll read from top to bottom. In the right side we'll read from bottom to top. Hence, the solution for this one is the resultant string is 0, 1, 1, 0. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Now you solve for this grammar. Draw a parse tree for E star, open parenthesis, E, close parenthesis. This is a special grammar in which we don't have any, what you say, non-terminals. Here we'll end up the grammar with variables part only. Is it clear? To start with, which production rule suits for the solution of this grammar? E implies E star E, E implies open parenthesis, E close parenthesis, E implies E plus E. Here for the parts tree construction for the string E star, open parenthesis, E close parenthesis, we will start with first production rule, E implies E star E. Are you solving, students? Are you solving? How many of you got the solution for this one? Hello, students. Did you solve or do I need to show you the answer for that one? Initially, I'm starting with the production rule. E implies E star E. Later, I'm replacing E with open parenthesis, E and close parenthesis. Here, the string is read from left to right. E star, open parenthesis, E, close parenthesis. Is it clear with this one? Students?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay, we'll see with the next example. Draw a parts tree for the string. String will denote with W. String A star B plus A. Now, production rules for this grammar are implies S star S. Now, we need to get the string A star B plus A. How we will do this one? First, I need to get A star B. For this one, I'm starting with the production rule. S implies S star S. Now see here, S implies S star S. For this grammar, did everyone get this one only or any other parse tree for this grammar? There are more than one solution, more than one parse tree which we can get from this grammar. See, first I'll explain you this one. If I'm replacing S with A here directly, this is one part of the solution, or else I can use S. Any more solution? S implies S star S. I'm replacing S with A, and in the right child S, I'm replacing with S plus A. Later, I'm replacing the left child of interior node S with A and right child of S with Is it clear? Now I get the string A star B plus A. Did everyone get this parse tree or any more parse trees for this grammar? Is it clear with this example? Students? Are you here? Who's 592?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear with this example?
Clear, ma'am.
506? If you are not responding, I'll mark absent for you. Remember this one. Who is 506?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you solve this example? Sias, who is giving me the attendance for CACA, mark absent for this 506. Who is 540?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you solve this example?
Yes, ma'am.
560? $560. $583. $584.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you solve this example?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's 596?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you solve this example?
Yes, ma'am.
5A2.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you solve this example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you're solving this, what is the problem of answering? Okay, we'll see the next example. Application with the context-free grammar. Applications of context-free grammar. First one is, it is used in compiler parse generator. For example, consider a C program statement C equal to A plus B. Here, C equal to A plus B. In this one, A, B, and C are identifiers. This lexical analyzer, did you complete with compiler design subject?
Oh, ma'am.
No, okay. In the compiler design subject, you'll see in detail every part of this phases of the parser generator. As of now, you just remember when we are writing the C program, compiler considers each and every variable and the everything as identifiers. Hence, it is taken as ID. We are giving a statement C equal to A plus B, but C equal to A plus B, if we are representing a parse tree, first initially the parse tree we have taken ID equal to ID plus ID. For this, the production rules are S implies ID, E equal to E plus F, E implies F, F implies ID, T equal to semicolon. Here, see this parse tree, S equal to S implies ID. Initially, I am taken this ID equal to ID plus this one. S is equal to ID. And later I'm replacing S with, here I missed some. Here in this grammar, one more production rule must be added. I missed it. Take a note of it. S implies ID equal to ET. ID equal to ET, one more production rule. Later I am replacing E with E plus F and S with T. Is this example clear? In this one, I missed the production rule. S implies ID equal to ET. Second one, I'm replacing E with E plus F. E plus F, it is written in the production rules. Later, I'm replacing E with F, F with ID, and T with semicolon. Hence, I got the string ID equal to ID plus ID semicolon. Here we have taken C equal to A plus B. That string I'm in the compiler, it will be broken as ID equal to ID plus ID. Every statement in the C program ends with semicolon. Hence, we are taking the semicolon. For this, we are representing a production rule. When you are writing these applications of context-free grammar, these production rules must be defined by us only. It will be not provided. So you keep in mind how to write production rules. If the statement of the program is given, you are asked to write production rules for that statement. Is it clear? For this part of the compiler construction, we need parse trees. That part is used in the context-free grammar. Hence, we use this one. And in case of development of XML, are you having web technology subject? Students? Students? In case of web development, when we are using extensible markup language XML to widely predicate to facilitate electronic commerce by allowing participants to share conventions regarding documents, that is, XML is document type definition, DTD will shortly term it as, which essentially describes the allowable tags by context-free grammar. This context-free grammar, when we are using with XML, it will allow us to define the tags by representing with the context-free grammar. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is in this class we have covered sentential forms, parse trees, properties of parse trees, and applications of context-free grammar. Any doubts in this topic? Sentential form is nothing but if we are taking leftmost derivation, the the sentential form for the leftmost derivation is left sentential form. If you are considering rightmost derivation, the sentential form defined for rightmost derivation is right sentential form. In the same way, parse trees. Parse trees are graphical representation of the derivations. Properties of parse tree, we have 4 properties. Root node for the parse tree is start symbol. Are you here? What are the properties of parse tree? Root node is always a node indicating the start symbol. Next, parse tree is read from left to right. Leaf nodes are always terminal nodes. Interior nodes are non-terminals. These are the properties of parses. Coming to applications, we have seen two applications when we are dealing with programming part. For the programming part, in constructions of compilers, in the first phase of that one, the ID generation is done. For that thing, we need context-free grammar. In case of web development, XML tools, for defining the tags, we use this context-free grammar. Is it clear? I need answer from you guys. Students.